Bonjour everybody, welcome along to Canada, Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal. We're looking on board with Captain Red Dragon on the first qualifying lap here at the 100 in Canada. My name's Casper, glad to have you all along. You are hearing this right, this is still the 100. We normally again would be on extra, however, because Simtech aren't racing, we thought why not bring it to the main channel for a bit of laughs, fun and giggles. So one more week of this and then we'll be back on extra. I'm not alone of course, I am with Angela, but we'll watch Captain Red Dragon come across the line. He's going to be the first man to see what the benchmark is, 113.3. Now how's that sort of in terms of Canada times?
First of all, good evening everyone. I'm glad
It's good
to
evening,
be here. 113 can be improved. I think there's still like between the top guys, they can still go like a second or 1.5 faster.
Well, speaking of a second,
Maybe.
there goes Thanos / Gary at 12.5. Ramsey coming through now. Ramsey doing well, not quite too well this week in Supercharge, but last week he did very, very well. So he's going to be hoping to carry that forward. Captain Morgan Nobi at 11.3, so times are a tumbling.
So yeah, already 2 seconds.
Cars getting in and out of the way here. As we're looking on with Ramsey. Do you want to do a lap on board?
With
Let's do a lap on board with, I think it'll be Mark next across the line. So we'll pop on the telemetry and then into the final chicane. Actually no, he's just invalidated. Right, what does that sim racer? He's fine. Right, all yours.
that sim race is right down to turn 1. We've seen many shenanigans happen there in the past. Oh, he's invalidated his line.
But again, you were talking about many shenanigans.
Yes. You may recall there's quite a lot of things happening there into turn 1. For example, Alonso not knowing when to brake in 2007. I think he caught that corner twice. Just didn't know when to brake for the corner.
Happens to the best of us there.
So there's the 1998 race start where there was a Benetton flipping upside down 3 times, like flipping over 3 times at the start.
Oh.
As well, multiple cars involved, 2 restarts in that race, as well as a Sauber landing on top of another car at some point. Jean Alesi was not very happy about that.
Imagine, Christ.
Just 3 years prior, he got his first win here in 1995, his first and only race victory.
Blooming heck. Well, there you go. Plenty of facts about John Alesi here, as provided by our good friend Angelo. Captain Red Dragon, again, up on his time by just under half a second after 2 sectors. Into the Wall of Champions chicane. Here he comes up to the line. Can he improve through that final sector? Yes, he can. Almost 3/10 of a second puts him in 3rd place.
Tidy lap, that one. So who else do we have? Oh, Mark is completing it. Oh no, he's starting his lap because he invalidated the previous one.
Yeah, quite a few
Lord
people.
Rickers.
Actually, track limits are obviously going to be a big thing, as we've noticed so far in qualifying. I've seen plenty of drivers invalidated their times. Roughly, sort of, where are the big track limits hotspots?
Turn 1. The entry to turn 1 is a big one as well as the first chicane in sector 1, the downhill right left. That's an easy corner to cut. And then there's the second chicane after that one. Before the end, like before sector, in the
middle of the second sector,
yeah, right at the end there's this left right left before the hairpin. That's also easy to cut, and then you have obviously the final chicane, which is one of the trickiest corners in the calendar to get right. Quick. You can,
nicely done there by Mark. Here it comes up to the line. Where's he going to put himself in terms of the standings? So 12.6. 4 thousandths behind Captain Red Dragon in 4th place, so tight as you like. Quite a few drivers in that midfield around the 12.5, 12.6 region. I have a feeling Mike won't shut up if I don't say this, so hello Mike. We can see chat. Hello, how are you? Hope you're well.
Hi Mike, hope you're doing well, man. Haven't spoken to you in a while. Hope all is good.
Looking on with, I think, a new man. DRS Smugit, which I would argue is one of the best names I've ever seen for an Xbox username, coming through that second chicane, and he's invalidated his time.
Yeah,
it's quite unusual through that second chicane, because the first one's obviously much faster, but the second one is a little slower.
Yeah, the exit is difficult. If you turn in too much, you get corner cut. Obviously, if you turn too late, you hit the wall on the outside and slip and slide and whatever happens when you don't have a good acceleration angle through that.
That sim racer goes fastest 10.5.
Oh, that's a
tidy time. That's a very tidy time. We're looking on with Colorocco. 10th place at the moment, 13.3. He's coming down the Casino Straight, as it's called, as it turns out, into the final chicane. We'll go into sort of why that's like a really difficult chicane to go through in a sec. Colorocco goes to 9th, just over 10th and a half improvement, so passes Adaro. So he's still on that 5th row at the back, well, so far at the back. But we've still got quite a few drivers left to do. Worth also noting that Nathan McIntyre's retired early from the session. Probably a quali ban. However, I don't want to get ahead of myself here.
Maybe a last first challenge, who knows?
I mean, around here, it's not actually too bad of a place to do a last to first.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a racetrack which does promote overtaking, actually, but it's really fast, it's really flowing, and it's very good for action. Speaking of turn 1, we were speaking about turn 1 before. Obviously, I think many people remember 2014 final lap shenanigans between Massa and Perez. Perez,
I think so.
Was Perez? Vettel just barely grazed by there, almost collected by a Weld Martini Racing Williams F1 car.
Oh god, yeah, Martini Racing Williams, who that's changed quite a bit since, hasn't it? Oh, good grief.
Yep. Indeed.
Well, 7 minutes to go. It's that sim racer on provisional pole. Head of this man, Captain Morgan Nobid in 2nd place. Thanos and then DRS Smugit has just pipped himself into 4th place, but we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers yet to set a time, although not all of them will. It's not often that people like Exo or Rookie set a time, and neither has Shaggy. He's not going to be setting a time in his Alpha Tauri tonight. Somatic, however, is on a lap.
Let's see.
He's coming through that
tidy exit.
I was about to say very tidy exit. Here he comes up to the hairpin.
The chicane, yeah.
Nicely negotiated hairpin, and then onto the back straight. Again, DRS down here, so it's an opportunity to overtake into that final chicane. We'll stay on board as he goes into the right-left flick now, braking, negotiating one corner, another corner, 5th gear, and then you're back on the gas. And then what time can he get? It's an 11.0, so he puts himself on the front row. Nice stuff there from Somatic.
Indeed, quite a tiny lap. You can see it from the off-board as well. Very tight indeed.
I'm looking at chat. Shaggy, otherwise known as Pac-Man Gaming 92, one-off race for this season, so I will start from the back. It's always good stuff. Love Shaggy setting himself a challenge. It's a big old challenge, but around here, we'll see what he can pull out.
I think Vettel did once the last first challenge around the in 2015, but I don't remember where he finished. I think he finished 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Just the engine penalties, obviously.
Ah, of course. And it's not the first time in a while that Shaggy has raced Canada, because the Simtech finale was around here when ERC weren't racing at that point. They were in the mid-season break just before this current season, actually. So, again, he has got some experience in the F1 cars around here, as Mark puts himself into 3rd place, 11.5. We're looking over past Leo, currently in 9th place. Aston Martin, 8 and 9, as here he comes down the back straight. Roman's come out for a lap as well, as has Bird, so we'll be seeing their times coming through shortly, one would imagine. But here comes the Aston, 11.7.
6th place.
6th place, nice stuff there for the Portuguese. Is anybody else sort of on a push? Adaro in 10th place, he's 2 seconds off the pole.
Is it?
Doing quite nice. He's invalidated his time, unfortunately. Another invalidation there. Collar Rocco is... Well, that was on his previous. So we'll stay on board with Bird, I think.
Yep. He is finishing up his lap. Just about now. Gonna head into the final chicane and try and raise that wall of champions. Gets quite close to it, quite nicely.
Here he comes up to the line. It's 11.7.
7th.
So puts himself in 7th, in between Pasteleo and Bird, and Rabs even, because that is Bird. Flying in 7th at the moment. DRS Smug Gear out on another lap as well. Just under 3 minutes to go. In terms of strategy, because the pit lane is so weird around here, what would you sort of expect in terms of strategy?
Actually, I do think there will be definitely more than once. I think I mean 2 stop is pretty expectable around here, because rear tire deg is actually quite bad. It's one of the worst tracks for rear tire wear. Very traction heavy race circuit. This one, so I expect people maybe to stay on the harder compounds of tires, avoid using the softs, because it is surprisingly bad compared to previous games. Usually tire wasn't that much of an issue, but now this game it's really highlighted very big issues, especially on rear tires.
And just explain to the ladies and gents, should they not know why this pit lane is so weird, why this pit lane specifically does give up options to more strategies.
The entry of that pit lane is very tricky. That one that you can easily get. Can easily get a speeding in a pit lane penalty. And you need to watch out for other people that are in front of you, because somebody may want to go into the pits, or you're going side by side with somebody, but you're on the outside line, per se, and the guy on the inside has to go into the pits, so there might be potential accidents happening there as well. Or somebody may not be ready, maybe making a last moment dive into the pits and then maybe crash into somebody in front. Like, that can happen, has happened, I've seen it happen. That one, so, and the exit of the pit lane obviously as well. You can rejoin side by side with somebody who's going through that corner, and you may even get the better exit because you're on the outside line. And very tricky pit lane entry and very tricky exit as well. at the same time. So
Yeah, because it's
one of the-
outside of turn 2, isn't it?
exactly, yeah. It used to be connected to the main straight, but in 2002 they changed it to what they have now, which is it just stretches over to turn 2. Because there've been accidents that happened there. I think a notable accident is Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve again in 1998, where Schumacher rejoined the track quite aggressively, and Villeneuve got pushed onto the grass on the edge of turn 1 and spun out of the race. Or what? It was Frenton or Villeneuve. I'm not too sure. One of the two. It was a Williams. I know it was a Williams.
Gary ups his time just slightly into 5th place. Checker flag is now out as well. Ramsey has invalidated his time, so unfortunately that's his qualifying done and dusted. Captain Red Dragon up to the line. Can he improve on his time? Yes, he can. Goes to 10th place. Good stuff for him. Roman's coming up to the line. That sim racer goes even faster, but then can Mark behind Roman go better than him? No, he can't. Roman goes into 10th place. And I think that might be it.
Yeah, that's it. That's except Rossi, who's invalidated his lap time. Yeah, it's
He
over.
has invalidated his lap, so that is it. That sim racer is on pole position on what I believe is, I'm not 100% sure, but what I believe is his ERC debut.
That's the first time I've seen his name. Yeah, so at least myself. So he's already made a very big statement. In that case. So
And he said he dropped.
Congrats to him, yeah.
I've just seen the Discord. He said he dropped 3/10 in sector 2. So he's saying that could have been a 109, which is a hell of a pace.
That's quite fast, yeah, I do have to say.
Well, here we go.
It's
Your
some hellish pace.
Yeah, I was going to say your qualifying results. That sim racer, I mean, that is a hell of a gap to Somatic Coast, who isn't bad at qualifying himself. He does very, very well. Picked up pole quite a few times so far. Mark and Captain Morgan in 3rd and 4th. Gary Thanos in 5th. Pasteleo in 6th place. A couple of people haven't set a time that you'd normally expect to. Shaggy starting this race at the back. Nathan starting at the back. Shaggy, his own choice. Nathan, I'm not too sure. And then Exo and Rookie, as usual, they start towards the back. But I think we've got a very tasty 71 laps coming here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the race.
Meantime, do we maybe want to talk about championship standings while we wait for...
We definitely can talk about championship standings.
Was it a wet race? Is it wet? No, it's not. The reflection looked like it was wet.
That's
But
not
it's
a
not.
That's not a wet race, but it looks like it could become a wet race at any point, I think. Because the clouds are there. But yes, Nathan McIntyre currently leads the standings. He's going to be at the back. It's going to be interesting to see how he can climb up. Bird in 2nd, Somatic Coast in 3rd. Your top 3 at the moment, but it's still pretty tight. We're only 2 rounds in. Can't really make too many assumptions as yet. We've had 5 different podium sitters. The only repeat is actually Nathan, a 2nd and a 1st. I'm just looking anything interesting. Pasteleo 2 6th places so far as well in both Monaco and Bahrain. We'll certainly want to improve on that come the end of this event. Remember, there is 18 drivers and all drivers get points if you finish. So from 30 points all the way down to 1. Don't forget also clean racing is 2 additional, i.e. don't pick up any penalties, and fastest lap gets you the standard extra point. In terms of the tier system that there is, it's tier 4 ahead of tier 1, ahead of tier 5, ahead of tier 3, who is technically ahead of tier 2, but they're joint on points. But that's the constructor / tier standings on that one.
Tires. Many people are on mediums at the moment.
Okay.
There's only one person on softs and two on hards at the moment. So it's like I said, people most likely avoid using softer tires. Focus on the medium and the hards because, like I said before, rear traction is important around here, and personal experience racing the circuit with worn tires is not fun at all because you're so reliant on having good grip on exits of these corners. It's becomes a very awful experience really quickly.
I can imagine. Well, speaking of, since you are a racer in a couple different leagues, overtaking spots. Where would you look?
There's quite a few actually. Turn one is a good spot. If you can't make the move stick, the outside of turn two is also a very good spot. The entry of the end of sector one chicane, like the left right.
Yeah, the
Before
what is technically 4-5. It goes into kink at
Yeah.
3, and then the right-left chicane at 4 and 5.
well
I
the
think.
wait no the left right chicanes there right before the DRS zone. Braking zone of that is a good overtaking spot. Then you have the small DRS zone. I don't see that as an overtaking spot because it's such a tricky corner and you just lose so much time, and I'd rather wait behind another car and then try maybe make a move into the hairpin. Another overtaking spot is surprisingly actually, one that actually worked quite well is final chicane as well.
So
If you know the guy you're racing against, you can leave each other space.
So you're basically saying anywhere, pretty much.
On this track, pretty much anywhere, yeah.
Good stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good stuff.
And
That's probably why this track is so beloved, because you can overtake anywhere.
Indeed, and I did a couple of 2 weeks ago. I did win a race around here. So.
Oh, you won a race. Well done. Congratulations.
So, and I had to make an overtake into the I had to defend from somebody overtaking me into the final chicane. And it went well. We did go side by side through there, but that cost a lot of time on the exit for both of us.
I can imagine.
But in the end,
I mean, that final chicane is one line. There's no two ways about it. It is a one line through there.
And telling you, the guy who was fighting for the lead pit in with a few laps to go for soft tires, right? Fresh softs. I think the gap was the normal pit stop gap. By the end of that straight, the final lap, he was just 3.7 seconds behind me, and I had the 3-second time penalty, and he didn't. So I won the race by 0.7 of a second.
Well, that's how crucial penalties can be around here.
Yeah, and penalties plus fresh tires really just gain you so much time on exits. It's insane.
We're getting set to go any second now. I'm not sure if there's a formation lap. There sometimes is, there sometimes isn't in terms of the races we have on international paddock. So I'm always slightly hesitant in terms of if there are. But if more than 2 lights come on, then... Okay, right, there is a formation lap. Okay, whew. Had me slightly worried there, I will be honest.
We usually do get that. There's been times maybe somebody can be forgotten, maybe. I've seen that happen, that the leagues I was racing, a couple of leagues I was racing in, sometimes we'd forget to put the formation lap in, so we just went into race straight.
Yeah.
Just immediately into the race.
Yeah, Supercharged had that last week. It was quite funny to see, and it stressed me out ever so slightly. But anyway, tyres on your screen. Pretty much a whole wave of yellow, other than a splash even. I'm about to say splodge, but then it makes it into splash. A splash of red for Ramsey in 8th place. and then a little bit of a bigger splash of white at the very bottom of the grid. 15, 16, 17 Shaggy, Exo and Nathan all starting on that much more durable hard tyre. Coming through.
Do you have to say?
Go on.
Do you have to say that the hard tyres, for me at least, was the right race tyre? Was the best race tyre to be on around here? Because it doesn't overheat, it's very durable, and you get consistent grip on corner exits compared to mediums and softs, especially the softs.
Yeah. Coming around the hairpin, I'd argue possibly my favourite angle of this game. Other than the helicopter, of course.
Yep, it was quite a nice angle we got there. That hairpin brings back some funny memories, some of them a bit less fun, but
I was going to say,
you know what I'm...
I'm Polish, so for context, was it 2007 or 8?
7.
7.
It was just, no, he won
Big old
08.
crash. He won 08, but he crashed in 07.
Yep. I think the craziest crash I've seen, like properly live. I remember distinct. It's I think one of the earliest F1 memories I have. That BMW lying sideways.
That's actually kind of sad that it was one of your earliest anyway. Rookie just mentioned something in chat. Don't forget about safety cars. This circuit is quite tight. It's very easy to call out a safety car, as these guys are lining up in 70, not 71 laps. I thought it was 71. But anyway. Possible tyre strategies, 2-stop, 3-stop. I don't think anybody can pull off a 1-stop here. It's going to be very difficult and very daring if they do. Lights are coming on. Round 3 here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is live. It's a good start there for Somatic Coast. He's going to have the inside as they head through the sweeper. Can he have the inside into turn 1? No, that Sim Racer forces his way inside, but the inside of turn 2 is not quite working there. He's gone on the grass. Couple of fights further back. Pasaleo's got past Gary. Ramsey's ahead of Rickaz, but they're fighting through 3 into 4. Ooh, there's a dive there from Ramsey as they head through the grass. Goes full Aston Martin lawnmower and almost 3 wide into turn 6, but it is still, here we go, Captain Red Dragon making a move on Rickaz as well, so he's lost quite a few positions. Then Adora around the outside, can he make it stick? Almost forced into the wall. Hello, still side by side, heading into the chicane at one end. Gets 1 car, gets 2 cars. Great move by the Williams. Will probably have to give the positions up though, because he went off track. Battles further back. So Roman and Smugget, they're going side by side as they head into the hairpin, on board with the McLaren down the inside of one, almost forces his way down the other. And that is pretty much a lap at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. That is quick.
Oh, there's yellow flags.
Mercedes, Rocco and
Williams.
Nathan.
Oh yeah.
Rocco and Nathan there. Incident at the hairpin. But finishing lap 1, it is that Sim Racer ahead of Somatic Coast. Pasaleos, there's a battle here for 6th, 7th and 8th and even 5th as well. Bird down the inside of Gary, can't make that stick through turn 1. And Ramsey, back end sliding for Ramsey there. No move there, no room at the inn for the Red Bull. But the Mercedes and Haas 5th and 6th are going to keep fighting.
Those soft tyres look very grippy right at the beginning, but they'll usually lose that extra tasty grip right pretty quickly.
What sort of, if you had to give an estimate, what sort of times would you be expecting tyres to pit?
Soft tyres, I expect a bit more than 10 laps, maybe lap 12, 13, because they really wear off very quickly compared to mediums. Medium tyres, I think they can do 20 laps, a little bit more. And the hards, well, I think
we'll see. We're on board with Ramsey. Sorry,
yeah.
30-ish. Right. Well, he's made a move on Birds. That is 6th place. The soft tyres are still working well. Fastest lap 14.6. We're going to have DRS enabled now as well. So remember, if the car is 1 second behind any car in front, doesn't have to be the car for position, can be a lapped car, then the rear letterbox will open down a designated section and extra speed shall be gained because there's less drag reduction system. That's how it works. Lap 3 of 70. You've still got 68 to go, and that is still quite a lot of time. And already track limits being a factor. Ramsey's got 3 seconds for track limits, and that is on the soft tyres.
It's the entry of the chicane there, the right-left downhill chicane in Sector 1. Usually catches people out the most. It's tricky. Really hard to get that corner right without turning in too early or too late. If you turn in too late, you end up cutting the second part. Because you don't want to lose too much time. So it's either you get it right, as Colorado does retire, I think, on track. Yeah, he's retired after safety car already.
He had an incident. Yes, the safety car's already been called. TTP mark is in. He just got passed by Captain Morgan, so that is going to be more than just the one position loss. Off the mediums onto the hards, so he's already going for a long tyre stint. Is he waiting? Is he waiting? I'm guessing. Oh, maybe a front wing change there as well. I think that's what happened. Must have been a front wing change.
As Thanos gets a penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Oh. Let put it this way. We know Gary at International Paddock here very, very well. We love Gary. He subbed in with us at FSC last week, if you were able to watch last Friday. But I can very much imagine he's not going to be happy with that.
No, probably just Delta being a bit iffy sometimes.
But even then, that would be a drive-through for speeding on a safety car. So there must have been something that happened.
It's just ignoring yellow flag. Yeah, it should be a drive-through, but don't know why it says for ignoring yellow flags.
Maybe it's an unrelated incident. Maybe he passed and then didn't give the position back or something. Who knows?
Maybe that may be the explanation. Yeah.
First safety cars starting lap 570. Drivers brake checking themselves into that wall of champion chicane. My name's Casper, glad to have you along with us. I'm with Angelo as always. Angelo,
yes.
Wall of champion chicane. Why Wall of Champions? Like, why is it so significant to be named after the idea of a champion?
Well, quite simple really. It all stemmed from the long past year of 1999, where 3 champions crashed into that wall in the same race. I think it was Schumacher, Villeneuve, and then Damon Hill, who proceeded to crash. They all crashed there in the same day, and they were all champions, obviously. Damon Hill in '96, Villeneuve in '97, and Schumacher at the time '94, '95. 3 champions, all 3 of them crashing into that wall. Gave it the nickname Wall of Champions. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. That's how that stemmed, that name.
And we still see champions crashing out to this day, even 20 years
Yep.
later. Almost 30 years later. Good lord.
Yep.
Don't even. Oh, mate. It is giving me a slight existential crisis, but we're all right.
I remember when 1999 was only 10 years ago.
Don't, please.
I remember when it was only 20 years ago.
It's almost 30. Well, it's 25 years ago now.
Yep.
It is actually 25 years ago. Ladies and gents, let that sink into your heads.
Been a long time watcher of F1, you'll know. Man, I'll feel old when I think about the very exciting 2023 season in 20 years' time. Anyway, enough about that.
I feel old about thinking about the 2023 season now because of the dominance.
I remember. Still remember.
We all
races,
remember the dominance because it's still happening.
Well, I mean, like I can still remember races from 2010, like as if they were yesterday.
Yeah.
Or even now 9, yeah.
Exactly. Worth noting,
Sad stuff.
worth noting, Nathan McIntyre has caught up to the back of the field. Must have had an incident with Colin Rocco on the first lap, just on exit of the hairpin. So he is back with us at the tail end of the field, however. So he will, I assume, be making quite a few passes further back. We are in the safety car for the first time so far. We expect not this to be the only time. This not to be the only time. Words.
There you go, and there it is. I was about to ask. It's been out quite a few laps now. It's going in just at this very second. Also, another thing I want to add. I believe for next year, this year's game that is coming, I think we'll have, like in real life, have this DRS in lap 2 already. So,
I mean, that's what they have in the game in real life. So we'll see if that triggers.
Probably have it in the game, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what shenanigans.
I can imagine it's probably an easy setting to change, but then again, we're talking about EA here, so who knows. On board with Semantic Coast, is he going to get caught out by that sim racer ahead of a newbie here in the league and claim back pole position by quite some margin? And there they go through the chicane, and he's already gone by half a second. So there you go. That is how easy making moves are if you catch your opponent out. Here comes Bird. Can he make a move on Ramsey? No, he can't. Battle for 5th place still ongoing. These guys have been quite up close and personal in this opening stint of the race. We've still got over 90% of the race left to go, but it's been actually quite nice watching these guys.
Canada's a really satisfying circuit to watch cars race by. It really is.
Yellows in the first sector. Mark must have had some sort of problem because he's gone slow through turn 3, but now back downhill he is up to speed.
Semantic Coast is still pretty close to that sim racer, much closer than it was. Ooh, he's locking his rear tyres. I don't know if you saw that, but the sim racer.
I'm not sure I caught that, I'll be honest. But again, like you said, rear tyres are heavily worn down this circuit, so that's not going to be very good come the end of that stint. Semantic Coast does have a lot of straight line speed. Can he make it work through this front straight? No, he can't, so he has to settle for second, but that's just for now. Again, that was a good drive out of the Wall of Championship game.
Yep. Gains again that little bit enough of time that may save him the next lap around. Because look at the gap now, it's almost a second now. Ooh, it's over a second, but I think he was just in the DRS.
Yeah, just peeped up over a second. We'll see what happens with the rear end letterbox.
No DRS.
Now that's...
So he must have been out by just the tiniest of margins.
I do think, though, that Semantic has gone for a bit more of a low drag setup. He is catching quite nicely down the straights, I have realised, so it wouldn't surprise me if Semantic Coast has gone for that low drag, much more speedy sort of setup. Especially
can obviously help you, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you watch the gap down this straight. Anyway, right. Big old battle here. Good lord. Everybody's, well, close as you like through here. From 7th down to 15th. If you can imagine that. Was that a penalty for someone for a brief moment there? I'm not sure. That's in race the fastest lap. Daro just about misses the wall. Gary's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. These guys filter through into turn 1 for the 9th time in this race. Daro cuts turn 1 and rightly gets a 3-second time penalty, some would say.
Again, like this is it. Track limits are going to be detrimental. Detrimental, is that the right word?
Yes.
They're going to have a big impact this race. Very big impact. Like I said, I almost lost my win by 7/10 of a second, sorry. Because of penalties.
Does Smoke go for it? I thought he could go for it into 8 and 9, but again, like you said, it's difficult to do. Can this race be won or lost here on penalties?
Yep, definitely can be won or lost.
Ooh, battle for 7th and 8th place. Rickard's right at the back of Red Dragon. The poor exit there for the Alpine man ahead of him, and they're going to go side by side. There's another battle side by side further back. That's 9th and 10th. Ooh, good grief. Where do we look? Smug get ahead of Adaro. Adaro does seem to be causing problems as Exo's been forced wide. Here we go. Can we see 3 wide down the front straight? Yes, we can. It's Exo, Shaggy, and Nathan. A lot of experience in this field. Into turn 1 they go. Shaggy's got the outside line. Inside into turn 2. Can Nathan perform the switch back? No, he can't. Or can he? He's not going to have the inside into turn 3. The Ferraris are almost fighting further back, but that was a brilliant battle.
That was lovely. Got to lovely to see people giving each other space and still race hard as they can. Ooh, look at that once again.
Nicely done on Adaro. Adaro seems to me at the moment. Adaro seems to me like a cork in the bottle at the moment, I think.
Well, oh, there's the 2 Ferraris at the back. I think they're trying to go side by side.
Well, they are into the hairpin.
Side, Roman.
Ooh, nice move there by Roman. Rookie is
down
clever and calculated, and that is a brilliant defense by the opposing Ferrari. They're both going to have DRS, but that's not really going to matter too much.
Oh, there's a McLaren. Smug gets through into the. Like I said, I told you that was an overtaking spot, and he definitely did take that. And the double DRS zone is just a huge advantage. He's just going to pull away now.
Ladies and gents, if we miss any overtakes, I can only apologise because there is a lot going on and I only have one pair of eyes, and even then they don't function properly because I've got glasses. So there's that going. Lap 11 of 70, we've had already action for, well, a full Monaco race, let's be honest. Into turn 6 and 7, left, right chicane, long apex, long radius corners. Even that's the one I wanted to use. On board with Shaggy. He's made a move into turn 8 before. Can he do the same on Red Dragon? Ooh, close as you like. Can he make one into the hairpin now? Is the question. He's getting close. He's going to use the outside line around the hairpin, but the inside through the sweeper. And here they come into that right-hand first gear hairpin. The outside line is working, but can the drive be gained? Yes, it can. And here comes Nathan. Ooh, not quite close enough. But we're on board with the Williams, currently championship leader. Is Red Dragon making a move into the wall of champion chicane? They're going to try and go side by side. Can they make it work? No, they can't. Nathan is right at the back of this as well. Can he get any closer? It's almost. Is it going to be 3 wide for a brief moment? We're on board with Nathan. It's side by side into turn 1. Can Nathan capitalise on this? Goes for the switchback on both. He gets one position done but can't make the other. Shaggy's had a great drive out of turn 2, and that is brilliant racing here in Canada.
Yep, the switchback was absolutely beautifully executed there by Nathan, so props to him. To make a little bit of a collision. Oh, he
spin!
Oh, he spun.
Oh, we were just on board for that.
Okay, it's safe. So you don't rear wing. Oh, he's hit the rear wing. Please don't be damaged. Oh, he's hit the rear wing again.
Right, okay.
Oh, hopefully no damage. Oh, there's big contact. Pastley is out of the race.
And that's safety car. Is that with Nathan?
Yep, he drove. Nathan was turning back on to the track. He was trying to recover from that, and Pastley couldn't do anything. He slammed into the side of him. That's Pastley out.
I imagine that's going to be looked at, and he's going to have picked up quite a bit of damage.
I'm not sure. The car looks fine. At least
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but could we be looking at a new championship leader come the end of this race?
Oh, wait. Oh no, sorry. I thought some. Now there's speeding in the pit lane there.
Yeah, that was just Captain Red Dragon, the Alpine on your screen. He's getting out just ahead of Adaro, but Adaro's got to go all the way to the end to make his pit stop. He's also ahead of DRS Smug. I imagine some damage repairs were done. Nathan McIntyre hasn't tied for the session, so damage was picked up there.
Yeah, probably wing damage at the back. Rear wing damage is once you have it. I mean, Very likely he had wing damage at the back and doing 57 laps around Canada, which is very dependent on the rear end. Having wing damage, rear wing damage, is not fun at all. Especially doing it for 57 laps. I don't think anyone wants to put themselves through that hell of a race, if you could call it that. So unfortunate, really unfortunate for Nathan there. Ooh, Sim Racer goes to the pit.
I'm going to go slightly on the ERC Insider, and I'd like to say that I am not the ERC Insider. I don't claim to be the ERC Insider. I have no affiliation with the ERC Insider. However, there is a lot of tea in the Discord. That one incident with Colorocco and Nathan apparently is, according to Colorocco, Nathan's fault, but I think Nathan thinks otherwise. That's definitely going to be reported into the stewards. I imagine Gary's a little bit pissed with Rabsy, because he picked up that 5-second penalty because of, I assume, something to do with the man ahead of it. Well, the man who's currently, where is Rabsy? 3rd place. And then a little bit more...
Soft!
Softs for Sim Racer, yes. Maybe softs and then hards till the end?
No, don't think they'll make it. Don't think... I mean, they can make it. I think they can make it to the end, but he's just gonna be struggling to not spin the car at that point.
Let's hypothesize for a minute, right? Let's assume next lap safety car comes in. So lap 15 it comes in. Which that's going to happen because we had the safety car in notice about this point last time. Or not. Okay, right. Safety car is coming in. So let's say about 12, 13 laps on those softs. Right? So that'll take him to 26, 27. Can he run those 40-odd laps?
I mean, it's to say, like you said, 4:13. It could be done, but tires will be begging to be switched by the end of that.
Captain Morgan's gone already, so lap 15 of 70 back and sliding for Gary, who was just on board with him. And here we go again. Canada is set to deliver as it usually does. Can Bird make a move on Rabsy? No, he can't. Rabsy's... Is he on a new set of softs, or is he still on the same ones from before? He's still on the same ones from before. He is a braver man than probably both of us are. That Sim Racer making moves on Roman. Could he be using the soft? Ooh, a lot of pace into there. Does that Sim Racer have? We're currently on board with the Haas. He's making a move into 6. Rare to do, still side by side. And it's not often that Rookie gets involved in battles, but a good exit there for the Haas, forcing the inside line for himself. But the Ferrari has got more straight line speed, and that is...
Oh, there's contact at the back. There's a McLaren run.
And that is contact with Red Dragon as well. I reckon
both around,
DRS Smugget was picked up in that as well. Good grief, we just caught that.
And there's another safety car instantaneously.
I don't blame him. That was a massive crash.
I just caught it on the helicopter shot.
Yeah,
McLaren tagging.
I just about managed to catch that on the copter shot as well. Good grief. What a race. With 15 laps and we're 5 drivers out. I mean, at that rate, we'll be left with, what, 3 or 4?
Speeding in the pit lane for...
If that, actually.
Razzie, yeah. Sorry?
No, nothing. Don't worry about it, mate. Quite a few drivers are coming in now as well. So Ramsey's finally getting rid of those soft tyres that, again, he's had from day dot. Rookie's coming in, Roman's coming in, and DRS Smug Gear, I imagine for a bit more bodywork damage as well, has come in for a fresh set of tyres.
So only somebody is on the softs, and that's the Sim Racer. That's that Sim Racer.
Who was doing actually very well. He managed to get in quite a few outrageous passes. The straight line speed for Rookie, though, was pardon me, pretty stellar though.
Yeah, he got right in front. Like, he stayed in front, right, to almost being overtaken. Straight line speed can be very useful around it, but it's that track where you can gain a lot of time if you have a bit more downforce, but you also can gain a lot of time if you have less downforce. But overall, I think running slightly more downforce is the way to go around here. 'Cause you need that grip at the back end of that car. You need grip at the rear.
TTV Mark,
no way.
and I'm going to quote here because it is a funny comment. You can't turn in when I'm at the side of you, you muppet.
Hopefully people keep it civil.
Hopefully people keep it civil.
Hopefully,
Generally do, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, we've had a pretty eventful first 15 laps. Captain Morgan, No Beard, currently leading the race. Thanos second, Bird third, Somatic Coast in fourth place. 5 retirements so far. 4 of them were actually involved in 2 separate incidents, but they were both very similar. One spun and then the other crashed into it. So that is definitely going to be looked at, regardless of, yes, both cars are out of the race, but I want them to know that it was their fault, kind of thing.
Basically, yeah. The safety car also getting really close to that wall. Something that is underrated is that the Bernd Mailander, who's usually the safety car driver, he is absolutely sending that car around the track.
Worth also mentioning that actually for ERC we do usually hire Andrew Gatton for the safety car, and I'm surprised that he has got the balls to get that close to the wall. But anyway, let's leave that to the side. Captain Morgan, I think this might be his first safety car restart this season. As he's still his tires.
Didn't he do it the previous one?
Actually,
sure
yeah.
He was
second safety car restart this season, second in this race so far, but I imagine that's not the only 2 times he's going to be able to do that. There's going to be a lot more than just that. There he goes, not quite catching Gary out, but then again the gaps are still quite small further back. We go green, 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 3rd time in this race, lap 18 of 70. There's a little bit of a battle here for 7th and 8th place. Well, there was, until that sim racer pulled away like a madman. Great drive out of turn 2. He's side by side with Exo. Can he make the move stick down into turn 4? Yes, he can. Exo gives it up. I don't think he can fight too much on that one. I think we'll stay on with that sim racer because there's going to be quite a few moves being made by the Haas.
Yep. The soft tires against used hards and mediums are going to be very
quick. Here he goes again.
There you go.
That's a brilliant move made down the inside into turn 8. As we've accustomed to expect over the course of this race, there's even a battle ahead of him with Somatic Coast and Bird battling for 3rd place. Careful for that Haas behind. Captain Morgan, No Beard has lost the lead as well as these guys are side by side. And then here comes that sim racer right onto the scene. They are side by side. Contact there. Possible slight front wing damage for Bird as they're going to go to abreast. Somaticos takes 2nd place. That sim racer takes 4th. Bird tries to go around the outside. Can't make that work. We're on board with that sim racer. Can he make a move down into turn 1? He's made quite a few moves already this season, but this race even. But can he make another one into turn 1? Yes, he can. Forces Captain Morgan a little wide, so Captain Morgan's already lost 3 positions in the space of a singular lap.
Yeah, 18 laps. Mediums do not feel great, obviously, against fresher tyres. But they should come back to him compared to... Whoa, I say that, and he half spins and loses another position.
Well, they are side by side, so because to regain it, if you can get braver on the brakes, but I imagine Bird is going to take that position from him. So the Hasses are together 3 and 4 as the sun sets here in Canada. We're on board with that sim racer. Can he make another move into the hairpin? A little bit braver than, well, he thinks about it, but things better of it. Remember, no DRS until next lap as well. We are going F1 23 rules at the moment. We're on board with the Semantic Coast. Quite a few drivers have left the session. As, ooh, that is close. Here we go. Sorry, we're on board with that Sim Racer. Into turn 1 has been a favourite move of his. Can he make it stick a little too far away? So that is Rousey also picking up another 3-second time penalty. So far, only 3 cars still have penalties. Thanos, Daro, and Ramsey. But we're looking on with this battle for first place. Well, I don't want to say it's not a battle, but given the state of the tyres of the top 2 compared to third place, it does seem to be a not if but when kind of thing.
As you say, there you go. You have that.
Oh, that was tight. That was brilliant there, and he's right at the back of Gary Thanos as well. Gary won't want to give this up. We know Gary very well, but can he make a move down the inside? He goes for it. Gary goes slightly wider to try and avoid the contact. Can he have the drive? He's not going to have the DRS as well, so he's at the disadvantage here. And Lord Rickaz is back. He's in 7th place at the moment. We're on board with Gary Thanos. Actually, Semantic Coast. K's made 1 move. Can he make the 2? He's going to go to the inside. And that is not been able to pull off. That was very, very close, though.
Oh, he's had a very bad exit over the last turn. He's almost hit the wall. Semantic Coast down the inside has to yield.
I thought he was going to go for it, to be fair.
Looked like it, but he had to back off there because it was going to be really, really mighty close.
Also, hello, Captain Red Dragon. I can see you in chat. Hi. And there goes Exo.
Oh dear, Exo
Must have been a crash with Rickaz, I think.
Pasteleo is out. Oh no, wait, no, he's left the session.
Oh, he's left the session, yeah. He's back now. For some reason.
There's another car that's damaged because I saw debris from another car, I think.
Well, let's just go for a scour through the front wings and we'll see whose it might be. It's not Rabsy. Exo's left the session. It's not Smuggear. Is it a Daro? Nah, his front wing looks pretty intact. See if it's any of these
Can't tell.
guys.
Can't tell.
Well, we'll probably be able to tell when people are coming into the pit lane. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but it
that's
Sim. Oh, that's Sim Racer speeding under
done.
safety car.
I know what he's done. He's gone into the pits with the Delta still in the red.
Ah.
And that's costly. That's a very costly mistake. It's a new update. It's a new thing they added a couple of updates ago. It's one of the newer features in the game. If you pit, it prevents from people gaining a lot of time by accelerating, gaining like 5 seconds on the car behind on the safety car, and just go into the pits and not get the like bypass the Delta basically. They fixed that, and now if you're in the red in the Delta and you pit in, that counts as going too fast on your safety car.
Well, there you go. Even being caught out by the game, and with their new rules. That Sim Racer pits onto the hard tyre. I don't think he can run those to the end.
No, he can't. It's just yeah, he'd have to do 48 laps. And I think we've reached the safety car limit. I think it's 4.
I think it's at least 1 more. And I know
Either that,
I know that it's at least 1 more for a 50% race. If the rules are the same for both, then the next safety car is the final safety car.
Ooh, Adara's just overtaken Shaggy, I think? Or was that a misunderstanding?
I'm not sure.
Not
We'll
too sure
see
either,
soon if Adara picks up a penalty. But I'm just looking at chat as well. Rookies saw an incident and apparently Exo couldn't go anywhere. And Rickaz has also retired from the session.
In the pit lane, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably damage off of the
Down-
incident with Exa.
Yeah. Down to 11 drivers now after 23 laps. And we've had 4 safety cars already. So
What is happening here? Hold on. Adaro gives the position back to Shaggy, and then Shaggy gives the position back.
A bit weird.
Misunderstanding, maybe, or game glitch?
I think a bit of both. A little bit of both at the same time.
Oh, we do love EA.
But it does seem to not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an issue though for the two. So as long as they keep it clean, it shouldn't be a problem. Down to 11 drivers, we've already lost 7 so far.
Christ, yeah.
Safety car goes in this lap.
I mean, at this rate, we might lose everybody by the point of the end of the race, which would be, well, it would be a first.
Well,
But
definitely.
we're on board with Adaro Somatic Coast leading his first SC restart. As we're going down the casino straight for the 23rd time in this race. Or probably about a third of this race so far has been under safety car. There goes Somatic Coast, catching Adaro out there by quite a bit, which is interesting. You don't usually go that early, but we go green, green, green for the fourth time in this event. We're on board with Shaggy around the back of Adaro. He's already lost a second to the man ahead of him. That is brilliant play by Somatic Coast, going very, very early. Adaro second, Shaggy third, Smugget fourth, Ramsey fifth, and then it is that Sim Racer who's made a move on Roman for 6th and 7th respectively. It was Captain Morgan, Rookie License, Gary Thanos, and then Bird at the back. It's not often that we see a Bird at the back, but considering about a third of the field, well, more than a third of the field has now DNF'd at this early point in the race. There's Shaggy cutting the corner. He might give the position back to Smugget. No, he doesn't, but he's going to be much closer to losing it, as there goes Ramsey deep, and that Sim Racer says, thank you very much. I'll have that position off you.
So for a tidy restart. Ooh, look at that.
Ooh,
There's a
there
bed.
he comes.
Rookie license in front of him, making a shake up a move.
Ooh. And that is the drive-through for that Sim Racer. In he goes.
Instantaneously served, yeah.
Away's
Pretty
Bird.
quickly.
Battle for Knight. Side by side into turn one. He brakes much later, but does he go much deeper? No, he doesn't. He makes the corner very nicely.
Nicely done, that tricky corner, got it just right. Just that tiny bit right. Can make the difference.
For anybody who's joining us just now, normally there's not this many retirees this early on in the race. It's
Not
just Canada
normally, yeah.
being Canada side by side, battle for 5th and 6th and 7th even. Captain Morgan tries to go down the inside. Does Roman cut the track limits though? Ever so slightly, he might have done, and then he goes side by side again with Roman, with Captain Morgan even, and that is a position for 6th and 7th. Roman goes deep, but then he's held up, and that is Gary Thanos on the stage. Like the Avengers hero, he says, thank you very much. I will have those 2 Infinity Stones, i.e. positions. In goes Captain Morgan as well, so Roman's lost quite a few positions. Adaro's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and that is the chaos that you get here at ERC.
And around Canada.
Of course, because Canada being Canada. I should also remind you, this is the ERC 100, this is not Simtech. Simtech returns next week, and it is officially confirmed that the first race at Simtech will be Bahrain, which, if ERC last week is anything to go by, is going to be a very, very good race indeed. Ramsey going deep into 6 and 7. So you're going to lose a decent bit of time, but then these guys are going to battle Adaro, taking the tight inside line. Again, no move made through 8 and 9. But yeah, so this is the ERC 100,
Ooh.
not Simtech. Simtech will return here next week. ERC 100 will go back to extra. That is Rabsy going deep and Thanos making a move.
Gonna use up all those infinity stones to make that overtake stick.
And they are still side by side, heading down to the
Sorry,
World
I had
Champion
to do
chicane. It's fine, alright, mate. I made that simple.
What? Oh,
Myself.
God, oh, and there you go. Ooh,
Cuts
bails
the
out of it.
curbs, and there's one position, and I think he's going to lose more than just the one. He's lost one to Captain Morgan as well, so it drops to from 5th to 7th place. So this battle for 3rd is really hotting up behind Adaro.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Leader. 14 seconds is the gap to the lead from 11th place. So that Simmer is definitely gaining some good amounts of time. It's only a matter of a few laps, and he's going to be right at the back of rookie license.
And there we go, 4th and 5th place. It's a battle here. Could we get into 3rd as well? Not quite, guys. That would make a move on Shaggy. These two know and almost love each other, I would say, as they head into the hairpin. Can Thanos make a move on Adaro? He's got the DRS now. He's got the move into the hairpin, but has he made the corner? Yes, he has. Contact there. Backhand sliding.
Oh, he's hit the wall, though.
He has hit the wall, but I don't think it's going to be a massive problem because Adaro's not going to have DRS, so he can't really catch up. We're on board with Shaggy. Careful for Captain Morgan to the left-hand side. There
Oh,
goes
look at
one.
the straight line speed of that Red Bull.
He's got a bucket loads of speed down the front
Oh,
stretch. Contact there.
Williams.
That is a brave and brilliant move by Adaro. He's going to clear off into the sunset now, but can Captain Morgan get down the inside of Gary? No, he can't. And this is almost contact there with Gary Thanos, and we're in Canada, believe it or not. And we're used to seeing good racing, but we're not used to seeing non-stop action.
I think we've had enough races where we had too much action. No, it's always good to see. It's always good to see. We love it.
We'll see that the world's compensating for the Monaco round for the first.
Well, the Monaco
race.
run was also pretty exciting, actually. I have to be honest. There were some very good overtaking scenes, and as well as great strategy behind.
No
So
move into
Monaco
the hairpin, but
also-
Captain Morgan tries it down the inside. Can't make that stick. Thanos parks
Look
the
at the
car
stride
exactly.
speed now.
And that's him races right on the back of this as well. He had brilliant pace in qualifying. Can Gary get past Adaro? He's gone to the left-hand side. Can he make it before the chicane? Is he going to go side by side? No, he doesn't. He's got the position, but he's got a 3-second time penalty for, I assume, track limits. Shaggy's in the pits. We're looking on with Captain Morgan right at the back of Adaro. This is going to be a very, very interesting race come, well, the rest of it.
You're exactly right. So Monaco just needs to, for the lead, he needs to pull away as much as he can before that sim racer is already making overtake. He's already with his teammates.
And I say he's going to overtake him already. He's probably going to have DRS now as well, so he could overtake him into turn 8. Here we go, side by side.
Captain Morgan.
Ooh, almost, I'd say, forced off track there is Bird, but the position has been made. And that is 7th place for that sim racer, running after Rabsy in 6th. Well, almost on the back of Rabsy in 6th.
We have some DRSing going on. Oh no, I don't think we will. No, there's no DRS going on for the two of them as Razy gets past.
Rabsy ahead of Adara, that's 5th and 6th place. And that is a nice move there by the Red Bull. So Red Bull 4 and 5, Haas 7, 8, Ferrari 9, 10. That sim racer's right on the back of Adaro. Can he get a good drive to make the move? Adaro parks the car, goes to the right side to defend. Contact there.
Contact.
Ooh, this feels like a Hamilton Vettel situation. That's a spin, and that might be the end of his race.
That Ferrari got mighty close. Oh, we do have another safety car. That's the 5th one this race.
Right, I might need to get myself a bit of a drink, so I will return shortly. My throat is... yeah, I'll be back in a sec.
Fifth safety car, as Casper needs to recover a little bit. Gonna get a refreshment. I do have to say, it's been quite chaotic. It's probably the most chaotic race I've seen so far in ERC. We've had 5 safety cars and it's not even halfway into the race yet. We're just about 5 laps away from being halfway through. And this brings that sim racer back in. He's brought himself in very nicely already. You can see he got pretty close there at the end. So the drive-through served from him. So he's back into it. He's back in for the race, for the win. Somatic still keeps leading. Nobody pits. I don't think anyone's pitted except Adaro. Adaro's in the pits. He's obviously because he's lost to his front wing. He's gonna want to change that. Somatic Coast in the lead, 18 laps old, hard tyres. DRS Smugget, who's had a very decent race so far, is up to 2nd place. 15 lap old mediums. Thanos and Captain Morgan are on 9 lap old mediums, and they're in 3rd and 4th respectively. Captain Morgan showing some very strong straight line speed in that Red Bull, and still don't know how to spell the name correctly. The teammate Rabzi, yeah, it's Rabzi. There you go.
Yes, Rabzi.
Finally, it's Rabzi. Hi, Casper is back.
Hola, buongiorno.
Really quick. Hola, buenos dias, buonasera.
Buonasera.
That sim racer is obviously, like I said, back into this. Safety car brings him back from that drive-through that he served, so it's race wide open.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I don't think he needed that safety car to be back into this. He was really close to the back of the guys. Wouldn't necessarily have been able to fight for the race win immediately, but definitely would have fought for the podium.
Yep, indeed, but nobody's pitted so far, so everyone's staying out. Obviously, medium tyres may be dwindling at this point.
Well, there we
not
go.
many
Actually,
available.
Rookie's in the pit lane as well, putting on a fresh set of mediums. Most drivers, well, pretty much all drivers have had at least one stop. In fact, multiple will have had multiple. Let's have a look. One stop at least for all, but 2 stops for DRS Smuggy, that, pardon me, Sim Racer, Adara, and Rookie. But everybody else has had just a singular stop, so they've all swapped off the tyres from the start.
On a 4 stops for rookie license, I think. Is it? No, it's 3. Lord Rick has had 4, but he's retired from the race.
Right.
So,
believe it or not,
quite a few pit stops.
we're at halfway.
I did say we've had 5 safety cars, and we weren't even, and we were still 5 laps away from halfway through. It was 2 laps ago.
What are you thinking could happen? Given what you've seen and the fact that the safety car is now coming in,
Don't know, the
what are you
strategy is now
thinking?
the strategy is completely weird now because most of the people already used their hards. So what can you do? You have to stay on them and then go for mediums at the end. You can't pit now for mediums because then you have to pit again for what tires? Used hards? Used mediums? I don't know. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather stay on the tires I have now and then go as long as possible to have a fresh set at the end. It's an interesting strategy's been blown wide open as Somatic Coast already. Has he gone? Yes, he has.
He has gone
already.
He's gone quite early. Did the same thing with the last safety car restart, and he pulled away by still almost a second. Shaggy's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits under safety car. Come on, man.
That sim racer making
difficult.
that move. Ooh,
down the inside into turn 1. He's side by side with
outside.
Rabzi, but
Nice.
on the outside of turn 2.
Very nice.
Back end wobble though. But he's managed to get that car safely planted. Well done there for that sim racer. A lot of pace as we see it saw in qualifying. And actually, from what he said, and I'm just going to go with it, there was a hell of a lot more pace in the car left to go.
Yeah, he said it was a race trim setup. that one. So definitely interesting to see. He's absolutely flying at the moment.
I'm just
Sim
looking.
Racer.
I've just seen chat. Adaro currently is sitting with bodywork damage, so just plodding along if and where he can. Shaggy trying to go down the inside of Rome, and Battlefield Knight placed behind Adaro. But he's made that move. Sticks. Ferraris are at the back, which unfortunately we haven't seen many a time. Battle for second as well. Thanos making the move on Smugget, and I imagine that is going to stick into that chicane. Back end sliding though. Careful for Captain Morgan.
And Ramsey gets penalty for 3 second for track limits.
I should mention, Ramsey got 20 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dearie me, that's a lot. That's a lot of penalties.
You were saying earlier, you can very easily win or lose this race side by side through turn 6.
Hey, that's a beautiful overtake. Oh, he slides
side by side, and
Sim
in
Racer.
goes that Sim Racer. Brilliant moves. That
Didn't
is a
need
difficult
an
section to pass, but he's making that stick the inside line into turn 8. That is nicely done.
That's fantastic.
That is a hell of a move. Somatic must have made a mistake. Either that or Gary Thanos has a lot of pace in his
It does have a lot of
tyres.
pace on those mediums. Yeah, fresher mediums. 10 laps fresher mediums obviously have a bit more pace on those hards, I like to think.
Well, here he
Look
comes
at that.
down the inside.
He's got some serious straight line speed, the Mercedes.
Nice.
Down the inside of the final chicane. Yeah,
He's
nicely
done it.
done
Well
there.
done. Nicely done by Gary Thanos. And DRS is only just enabled as well. So a lot of good things are coming Gary's way. But don't forget, he does have that 9 seconds with the penalties that he can't serve during the race because the game, basically.
Because game. And
Yes.
speaking of, we're just halfway through now, lap 35 out of 70. We've reached the halfway point. And we've had 5 safety cars already. If you've just tuned in, not seen what's happened before, we've had 5 safety cars so far. It's only lap 35.
Yeah, it's only lap 35, and we've had quite a few safety cars. Shaggy making
yellow
moves.
flag.
Oh, that Sim Racer's got past Captain Morgan as well. That was down the inside of 8 and 9. As they head down the hill towards the hairpin at 10. That's Bird trying the outside line. Riz locking for Captain Morgan. Will go on board with Smugget, who's currently in 5th place. Careful for Bird in the background. Rookie lights ahead of Ramsey as well. Not a good day in the office for that Red Bull, but the other Red Bull is getting caught up. The gap is getting eaten, gobbled, whatever other synonym you can think of. Is getting
a small mistake.
closed down, and here we go. Can Smugget make a move into turn 1? We're looking on, starting lap 36, so we have now passed halfway. But no move into turn 1, but they got mighty close.
What? There was a move, Adara around the outside of Ramsey. They make a little bit of contact. They touch a little bit. They have their cars link into each other there, but it's the overtake done for Ramsey.
Yeah, don't forget that Dara is sitting with some sort of bodywork damage that he can't shake off, so his pace is going to be severely slowed compared to what we saw earlier. Rookie considering a move on Roman, thinks better of it into 8 and 9. And round we go again.
2 Ferraris having a battle as well. Massive ding dong. Ramsey and Adara also having a ding dong. Look at this.
Yeah, 5th and 6th having a bit of a ding dong as well. Here comes Bird, to the left side he goes. That is a move
Gonna
made.
go around the outside. That's a brave overtake around the outside.
Cuts
and
him
made
off,
stick.
shuts the door, and that forces Smugget to pick up a penalty.
Yeah, that was a fantastic overtake. Very brave. And he's made the overtake stick and also made Smug a penalty from track limits there.
But
in the
now,
process of that.
but now we do have a 4-car sort of, I don't want to quite call it a train, but they've all got DRS. So Captain Morgan is the conductor, with Bird Smuggy and Shaggy being the carriages. We're on board with Shaggy. Can he make a move down into turn 8? Thinks better of it. We were saying earlier, you could overtake anywhere. Where's the hardest point to overtake?
The hardest point to overtake is, I think actually, I mean, final chicane, the hairpin and the final chicane because it has just basically one line, and the hairpin because you can easily outbrake yourself and run wide if you brake just a split second too late. So that's a very difficult spot to make an overtake. The rest is actually quite easy from personal experience. It's just that final chicane and the hairpin that is really difficult to get right, because you can easily run wide by just not braking at the right point. You can brake 1,000th of a second later, and that's already a little bit wider than you'd like to be.
Shaggy past Smuggy for 6th place as they're heading through the forest for the 38th time in this race. Looking on board with that Sim Racer, not a bad exit, but not necessarily a very good one. Back in the wobble there for the Haas. He's going to try and force an overtake, and that's exactly what he does down the inside into turn 8. Again, we've seen a lot more action into that corner than we normally would, but still a great overtaking move nonetheless. Now he's trying to chase after Gary Thanos in first place, leading the race so far. Rabs has picked up yet another 3-second time penalty, up to 23 at this point in time. Let's also look at positions gained. Most people, believe it or not, have actually gained positions, partly because, well, there's not as many people left in the field. Pardon me. But biggest mover, Rookie up 10, as per usual. Shaggy also up 9. He did say he was just going to do just this race as like a last to first. So good stuff for the Stoke man.
Yeah, AlphaTauri,
performing well.
That sim racer as well. I mean, Somatic Coast is now in 3rd. He's struggling a little bit on those tires, obviously now, because they are quite old compared to some of the other guys. Oh, look at that Red Bull Morgan being forcing the outside.
Closed the door there. Did Somatic Coast, but still a defensive manoeuvre nonetheless into the hairpin at 10, and then through these kinks at 11 on the left, and then 12 on the right. And here goes Captain Morgan, finally can make a move without being closed off. But can Bird do the same? Not into the Wall of Champions, but can he make it into turn 1? He's still right on the back of this. Remember, Somatic won't have DRS because double DRS is in effect here. But no move made, no room at the end. Adaro's got a 3-second time penalty, and we go again.
Oh, look at them. Oh no, he thinks twice about making an overtake there, Ramsey. So far, so good. That Simrace is not catching as much to Thanos.
I was about to ask, yeah, because put yourself in Thanos' position. You've got that Sim Racer who we've seen has got pace. What do you do? Do you push or do you conserve, or what would you do?
I would just drive as quickly as possible, honestly. I'm going to try and run my own race. I'm in the lead. If I'm in this position, I'm in the lead. I'm going to try and get away from the cars behind me, because you want to have as big of a gap as possible to pit and have the freshest possible tyres. So you have to make up as little time as possible. So for me, it would be absolute send every corner.
Into turn 1, Bird past Somatic down the back straight, no move for Shaggy down the front straight. There we are, 30 to go, believe it or not. We are still quite early in the season, so we can't really make any championship predictions or anything. We've still got 9 rounds to go. That will take us till about the end of May, where oh my god, would you believe it? The F1 24 game is coming out at the end of May, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers work in.
I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know you. I'm pretty excited for that game.
I'm always slightly hesitant when a new game comes out, especially now that I'm a commentator, because if the new game is, pardon my French, crap, right? And nobody wants to play it, nobody wants to race on it, right? Then we're not going to have any races, we're not going to have any leagues, right? Or as many.
As ASC Bird, sorry, down the inside, he has a look, but doesn't attempt to overtake, sticks behind. Carry on, as you.
Yeah, Roman's picked up his first penalty, I think. But yeah, we're just jumping down to that battle for ninth, Daru and Roman. There was a lot of drivers, of course. For those of you that remember, MCL, sort of season 9, the first season of this new game. He didn't like F122. He didn't like F122, but he liked F123 quite a bit more, right? So we had much more people, which is my point. If there's no people, there's no good racing, which means you can't enjoy what we provide, kind of thing. So I'm sort of cautious. That's just me with any new game, regardless of whether it's a racing game or not. I'm hoping it's going to be good, as Captain Morgan has made a mistake on exit of the Wall of Champions. Here comes Bird down the inside. 2 Hasses on the podium, or could there be? Captain Morgan tries to defend around the outside of 1, inside of 2. But the outside works, and then here comes Shaggy using the switchback. And that is 2 positions lost in 3 corners. Thankfully, he had a spin where it wasn't too bad in terms of that's not where the racing line was. And then to add to that, he was already pretty much facing the right direction. But it's not too bad. But here comes Shaggy, battle for second now after that incident for that sim racer. And that is Shaggy making a move on Bird. Again, a lot of respect with these guys. Shaggy's massively improved since season 8, 9, which is where season 9 is when I came on as a commentator for ERC. So it is great to see Shaggy coming up the ranks. But Gary, I don't want to say anything because we love Gary, but he does seem to be set, at least for now, for a win. But don't forget that 9 seconds worth of penalties, or 8 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. Yellows in the first sector. That's Rabsy hitting the wall. But he is at the last, and he has retired. And I think you're right in saying that we have hit the safety car limit, because there's no safety car pulled out. So we have hit the safety car limit. There's not going to be any more safety cars. And that is that. God, you sound so American. Battle for second. Shaggy and Bird Somatic Coast got 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Shaggy's got 6 seconds now. So Gary Thanos has got enough of a gap to stay ahead of Shaggy, and should the checkered flag go now, that would probably be a podium. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I reckon that's probably a podium. Yeah, of course. Joins the party. So the only people that don't are a rookie. Yeah, that Abu Dhabi race was a nightmare for him. He picked up some penalties at the end, which he never picks up penalties. It's very, very unusual to see our one of our resident Saffers picking up a penalty, but it does occasionally happen. Here comes that Sim Racer making one move, 3 wide. Here we go down the front stretch. It's Somatic and Martadaro and that Sim Racer contact there heading into turn 1. That is 2 moves made by that Sim Racer, or is it? The outside line is working nicely, but they are still side by side. Somatic Coast is defending like a madman, but can the outside work for that Sim Racer? Forces his way around there. Brilliant move. Oh, that is nicely done by the Haas. Well done there. Let's jump back to the top. Bird hasn't got penalties. We don't think he will get any penalties. He doesn't usually get any penalties. Gary Thanot, yeah. Yeah, he'd have the net win by about just under 4 seconds. So Gary does need to extend that gap somehow. I don't know how, but he needs to somehow do it. He needs to pit at some point. So does Bird, because Bird is on 25 lap old hards. Hards aren't going to last 50 laps, I don't think. Oh yeah. If it's anybody, it's Bird, definitely. Well, they're going to be losing a little bit of time. Yeah, I was going to say they're going to be losing a little bit of time here. Because there's going to be a little bit of a tussle. Bird and Shaggy are going to be fighting it out for second place. Here comes Bird down the outside. Doesn't really actually put up a fight. A little too far away there. What Gary needs is either a bucket load of pace out of absolutely nowhere, was that contact with the wall as well? Because if it wasn't, it was perilously close. And don't forget, we haven't really spoken about him in context of the win for a little while, but that Sim Racer, given the right conditions, could very, very easily force his way through and get, podium, even a win on debut, which would be, well, a hell of an event. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're gonna pit now, pit for mediums, kind of thing, which he has done. So that's not particularly a surprise, if I'm honest. He Can't abuse his tyres. And don't forget that pit lane isn't massively long. You only lose about, I think it's like 15-ish seconds, give or take. So you're not actually going to lose that much time. So they're going to be either just in front or just behind that sim racer. So, Christ, Yell's in the first sector. That's probably for someone a little further back. Roman, that's what, exit of 2? Looks at into 3 and then 4. And through the right-hander at 5, yeah. Shaggy's in the pit lane. Bird's gap is 5.2, so he would again still win the race at this point in time, but we've still got 21 laps to go, so there's still a lot of action to be had. Make sure you do not go absolutely anywhere. We've got a little bit of an ad break coming along for those of you who haven't subscribed, but if you want to avoid the ads, use your Twitch Prime, or we've got a little bit of a subscription going. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, right, Adaro's in the pits. The gap between... Let's have a look if there's any... Shaggy is 3 seconds down on that sim... No, he's a little more than that, about 6 seconds, I think. Back on that sim racer. Shaggy off the back of that sim racer. I think it's about a 6-second gap. Roman again. Roman's really not liking turn 2. There we go. Shaggy's going to get past Rookie. Here he comes. Captain Morgan's in the pits, and I don't think Rookie's going to really fight this one too much. There they go. That sim racer is now on the podium, at least for now anyway. We'll see what happens over the next 20 laps. Now as these guys are just crossing the line. What's Captain Morgan put on in terms of tyres? Softs. Softs. Can you run 20 on softs? Okay. That's going to be very interesting come the end of the race. We're looking at tyres as well. Gary Thanos has got the pace advantage, but again, Bird's in a much better position given the fact that Gary Thanos does need to pit soon. To be fair, can both pit for softs? It's going to be very, very interesting come the end of this race. Now, that's kind of big. Gary Thanos has picked up another 3 seconds for track limits. I reckon that scuppered the win. We'll stay on board. Yep, he's come into the pit lane. Is he going to meet the marker? Yes, he does. Okay, we'll stay on board. We'll see where he comes out. In comes Bird as well, so they're pitting at the exact same time. Is the Haas gonna... Ah. Yikes. Might just be from that most recent incident, or whatever caused the penalty. Right. That sim racer leads the race. Somatic goes second with a penalty. Shaggy in third with a penalty. Thanos in fourth with another penalty. Third and fifth without. So, there we go. Gary Thanos on softs though. Roman ignoring the blue flag. Has been given a 5-second penalty. It's going to be interesting to see what Gary's pace is as well. Because again, should the checker flag go now, he's only going to lose, what, 2 positions? So he'll drop to 6th. Because it's 12 seconds with the penalty. But should be able to, but we'll see. Bird is right in the back of this with DRS as well. So he does have the advantage. He's not going to close up enough for a move. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what Gary Thanos can do. Can he make those soft tyres work until the end, I wonder. $16, $17, something like that, yeah. Difficult. Pit stop strategies on your screen. In terms of, like, most of the guys at the top are on 2-star. But there's one glaring standout for that, and that's in racing. He's done the 3-stop, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that seems to have worked for him. Here comes Bird making a move. Ooh, still side by side. That is a brilliant defensive move by Gary Thanos, using the outside of the exit of the Wall of Champions. That was a hell of a defense. I don't think Gary's race at the moment is going to be with that sim racer. It's probably going to be with Bird with Captain Morgan No Beard, so that he can try and get as high as possible. Because I think fourth is 16. I think. Hello! Now that is a rarity. That is a rare occasion. I'd pop the champagne if I had any, but Bird, for the first time since at least 100 in Abu Dhabi, has picked up a penalty. Hasn't it just? He won't be able to pick up the clean racing, clean sweep, as I like to call it. Which, again, he's lost that quite early, which is unusual for Bird. Hi Mike, Bird's just picked up a penalty. Your thoughts on it, I wonder. Down the back straight, 14 to go. Well, these guys have got 15, but that sim race has just started. 14. We're on board with Gary Thanos. Can he make a move on Shaggy down into turn 1? He's using the inside line into that first corner. Can he make that stick? Yes, he can. And now he's put some daylight between himself and Bird. And that's exactly... Mike, that's exactly what I said. It does not happen often that Bird picks up a penalty. But the occasional moment that it does, you want to pop the champagne because it is a very rare occasion. Can Bird make a move on Shaggy down the inside into turn 8? No, we can't. We've had some DNFs. Yeah, that's putting it nicely, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we had about third retired by about lap 25, which is pretty, you know, not great. But here comes Bird finally making the move, but crucially, he's lost a lot of time to Gary Thanos, who is now catching Somatic Coast, but again, not nearly by the pace that he needs to try to get into that top 5 come the end of the race. He'd currently still be in 6th once the checkered flag falls here with 13 to go. Yeah, don't forget that if in ERC, if any driver doesn't pick up a penalty throughout the race, then they pick up 2 extra championship points, which can sometimes be crucial. We've had championships decided by tiny little margins, so it is always very important to be sure to be clean. And then you also don't pick up just penalties in general, because otherwise problems will happen. Angelo, did you fall asleep? Good man. Mike's just asking. Try uncheck and recheck. I was going to say, try unchecking and rechecking the tick box, because Sam had this as well. Yes, Sam had this as well. Try unchecking and rechecking the box.
So great, thanks Twitch, appreciate it.
Twitch working as intended.
I didn't even press the home button, and it shouldn't have happened, but that's nice to know that it happens regardless. Thanks Twitch, appreciate it.
Thanos right at the back. Well, Bird right at the back of Thanos even. The gap between Gary and that sim racer hasn't actually changed, but Gary had closed up to the back of Somatic Coast. He's 4 seconds down. He was 6. But we'll see what happens here. 11 to go.
Just about, yeah.
Here we go. A little bit of a poor exit there from the chicane. Can Bird make a move into turn 1? No, not quite. Driver of the day candidates?
I don't know. The moment it would have to be the sim racer.
Yeah.
It would have to be debut race, and he's doing well. He's raced cleanly, got back through the field multiple times. Plus, now he's leading the race by 7 seconds, and he's one of the only 2 drivers who don't have penalties to their name.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always happen that someone on debut manages to do better than everybody else, considering the pace is high here. It's not sort of PSGL WOR high, but it is still pretty high nonetheless. So to be able to come in day dot with respectful racing and with some pretty damn outrageous moves, it's
What?
pretty...
Mike, what are you asking? What the hell, man? Mike asking the real questions in the chat. No, Mike, it wasn't.
Michael, do you want me to start deleting messages, damn it? Because I will.
God damn. That was that went from 0 to 100 in less than a second. Holy moly.
I mean, Mike, listen, if you wanted that to happen to you should have just asked.
No.
No, I'm talking to Mike, not to you, mate. It's all right.
No, I know, but. Oh, Mike. Only. It's. Why would you ask that? What makes you think that?
Mike's only asking that question because he wants it to happen to himself. That's always what I think. 10 to go, just under 10 to go now. So we are coming into the closing stages of this race. If you want to catch more Canada action as well, the Masters are going to be racing here on Sunday night, 8 o'clock, with actually that Mike Wallace and Andrew Gatton. So it's going to be a thrilling race, especially with them two on comms. It's going to be pretty funny, I assume, regardless. Starting 62.9 to go. Don't forget to also follow socials at international_paddock on Instagram. That's where most of the stuff and my time goes. So be sure to follow there to not miss any international paddock action. Battle for third at the moment. Gary Thanos and ERC Bird. They've sort of been battling since they came into the pits not long ago.
So I think, yeah, there's fresh tires don't make that much of a difference at the moment, do they? Not as much as I expected. From 10 to 9 seconds is the gap to the lead.
Maybe, like you were saying, it's a case. It could be just a case of both are low on fuel, so the tires don't make too much of a difference.
Yeah, most likely that as well. Most likely. But this all means that sim racer can, after strategic setbacks thanks to safety cars and driver penalties, does mean he does get a nice gap at the front at the moment.
We've been concentrating on the battle for third, but there's a little battle for fifth going on. So our Captain Morgan's just passed ERC Shaggy. Actually, Mike, if you're still here, would you do me a favour? And because I assume you know this better than I, is that sim racer, the man who's in first place at the moment, is this his debut? I wonder. I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't want to say, you know, come the end of the race that it's been a while since a man on debut with once the checkered flag goes and all that sort of stuff, and I don't want to get it wrong. Because it is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge statement if it is his debut. Give me feature scene before, maybe with okay. Maybe in another league.
Maybe
okay, possibly.
That's fine.
Yep.
Take your time, Mike. We've got you've got 7 laps time, which is about what, 10 minutes?
7 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes and 10 seconds, just about. If we're saying roughly 1 minute, 15 seconds per lap. It should be 8 minutes at best, yeah. Less now because it's halfway through the lap already.
Now, Somatic's made a mistake or something because he's right just ahead of Gary Thanos. So Gary is going to get into second, on the road at least. Whether he stays there come the end of the race is a whole different ballgame.
At the moment, could finish. Can he finish?
He might
Fourth,
be able
maybe?
to finish fifth or not fourth, but fifth possibly. Here comes Gary
fifth,
Thanos.
yeah.
He has made the move for second place, but does Bird do the same thing? Can he make 2 moves in one? No, he can't. And again, it's a case that we had with, I believe, Captain Morgan earlier in the race. He needs to make that move as soon as he can, but a poor drive for Gary.
Ooh,
And here we go, 3 wide into the first corner. 1 move, 2 moves attempted. Contact there. Outside line for Bird. Can he make that stick? A good drive for all cars, though. So Gary does keep second place, I think, unless Bird tries around the outside. The outside into 3 is, well, a no-go, quite frankly. So Bird is in 3rd place, still on the back of Gary Thanos, but that gap has extended.
Now look at that.
And Mike has
Thanos
said,
without...
yes, it's his day. Just want to pass. Cheers, Mikey Boo.
Thanks, Mike, for the quick information.
Ooh, back inside in there for Somatic as well, so he's lost quite a bit of time to the back of this field as well.
Yeah, Thanos is feeling the wear on those softs, I think. His bed now is all over him.
Here he goes, Bird's finally making that move. He's been trying for about 13 or so laps, and that is, well, finally, some would you think definitely too late, but better late than never. Second on track, and will probably keep that 2nd place regardless. Roman 3 second time penalty for track limits again on top of, well, quite a few other penalties that he's picked up so far in this race. Let's actually look at the penalties so far. Bird 3 seconds, Gary 12, Somatic 5, Captain Morgan 3, Shaggy 6, Smugit 9, Adaro 21, by far the most in the field, and Roman on 11.
Yeah, there you go.
And we are all 5 to go.
Yep.
And we've not spoken about this man for a little bit, for about 15 or so laps. But that's because he's jetted off into the lead and hasn't said anything since. I mean, like, what can we say?
The perfection.
Pretty much.
Oh, he's hit the wall though. He did hit the wall there as soon as I said that. Hopefully that's no damage.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, it's just I keep cursing people for some reason.
Yeah,
I said, oh, birds.
Damn it,
I said bird is usually somebody who doesn't get penalties. A few laps later proceeds to get one. So I think it is my fault, honestly.
I'm going to assume that it is.
Thanks. I appreciate. Thank you. As Thanos gets in. Ooh, nah, yeah, that's over. He's gonna finish 6th at best. Because now he's got 15 seconds.
Gary, what penalty? Yes, 15.
Yeah, he's got.
So he's definitely
15.
finishing 6th.
Yeah, unless there's massive calamities between Somatic and Bird, which is less likely.
Which I doubt, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. That could still very easily happen. Because this is, again, ERC, anything can happen. But we are 3 to go here.
Shaggy looking for a move. We've got 3 laps to go.
Let's jump down to 6th place. Top man Shagster. Mystery Machine and an Alpha Tauri. Not in a van. As they head through turn 2. Again, this is round 3, so there is still quite a lot to be decided. But I think that's it. That Sim Racer, right? He has very much made his put his stamp on this race. He's made his ability.
Big entry, yeah. Made a massive entry, massive statement, and he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, definitely. For this championship,
and especially if we can see him in every race, then who can stop him is going to be the big question. But 2 to go. We're looking up with this battle for 5th place. Can Shaggy make a move on Captain Morgan? Thinks about it, thinks better of it, and then pushes back into line through the wall of champions. Back end sliding for both of them. So no move into turn 1. What do you do if you're Shaggy now? Because let's look at penalties as well. Because Shaggy has got 6 seconds worth of penalty. Right?
And Captain Morgan has
3.
3. At this point, well,
Is there anything you can do?
obviously you still try to overtake him. I would still try to overtake because you never know. Maybe he gets a penalty on the final chicane of the final lap.
Hmm.
Who knows? So I'd always try to overtake somebody because you never know.
Well, final lap is coming your way. We're looking on board with that sim racer who, with a debut like a madman, has stormed his way to the lead. Thanos ahead of Bird, but that's not really going to do any much because Thanos does have that 15-second accumulated penalties. And Bird's only got 3, which again, for Bird, is a rarity.
Yep.
Yeah. Through 5, right hand looking final time, and then into this long left 6 and 7. If you're Bird, do you go for the move or do you just stay back?
Just one of them think 15 seconds time penalties are going to get removed for something. I'm pretty sure those are all track limits penalties. So I would just, if you really wanted to, for fun, for pride, I guess, then yeah, make the move. But I would just stay behind.
Well, we'll have a look at these
This
guys
point.
in a sec, but here comes the debutant, 6/10 of a gap on pole position and still had more in the tank. Up to the line. Been a while since we saw a man win on debut, but we've seen it happen again.
Bird
That
has
sim racer
managed to make.
does get the win, and Bird gets second on track, but Gary is going to lose plenty of positions. He's lost 3rd to Somatic Coast. What about Captain Morgan and Shaggy? He's lost 4th and 5th as well, but by how much? Oh, that was close for Shaggy. 1.8 tenths of a second was the gap.
Pretty close, yeah, pretty close. And definitely, yeah, I've confirmed 6th place for Thanos, as rookie license is the next driver to approach the final corner as his teammate who's lapped.
Yes, strangely eventful race for Rookie. He's usually towards the back, but for the first time in a while, I've seen him in a safety car train actually start in like the mid-pack, which for him, I'm pretty sure either was a mistake or almost never happens.
Ooh, he
as-
gets another penalty right over the
Azadara
line.
picks up yet another 3-second time penalty and finishes 25 seconds off the man ahead of him. Adaro in 9th place. I think also on debut, which, considering he had bodywork damage, is pretty good. That sim racer driver of the day, I'd
have to agree.
Yeah. I don't think you can really say much about that anyway. But as we're just going to watch the drivers come onto the podium, that is it from us tonight. Remember, if you want more ERC 100 action, we will be back on International Paddock Extra, int_paddock_extra, XTRA, from next week. But that won't be with me. That will be with Angelo, as I'm going on holiday. Where next week, actually. Where are we next week?
Oh, again? Okay.
Sorry, mate. I'll get Andrew.
All right.
I'll get Andrew to come in with you. We're at
Oh, sweet.
Barcelona next week, so that is going to be 66 laps of Barcelona, I think.
It is
Coming
66. Yeah.
your way. Friday, FSC are racing around Zandvoort off the top of my head. So that is Zandvoort? Zandvoort, yes, they are. And then Supercharged is finished, and then Managers on Wednesday, and then SimTech return on this very channel at Bahrain on Thursday. But that is it from us. Be sure to follow all the socials at international_paddock on Instagram. Follow us, like us, all that sort of stuff. And it's a goodbye from Angelo.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a good one.
And it's a goodbye
See
from
you
me as
next
well.
week.
Stay safe, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.